This is an article that I wrote online on my blog site on words, their meaning, and truth. Here is a quote by Vin Armani, who wrote Tao the Gigolo. No two people can share the exact same journey in life. Even those who walk a path side by side don't walk the path with the same companion. In this regard, my way is my own. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, would your 1,000 words be the same as someone else's? And if these pictures were moving like a movie, how many different words would there be? If you were watching a movie with a friend, you can get two different responses, two different receptions, two different showings, two different interpretations. Could we even agree on the same words, let alone can we even agree that we saw the same movie? Here's another quote by Vin Armani. The truth can't belong to anyone. The truth point where the truth became clear. Now that I have seen such truths, I can tell you what I've seen. The truth can never be fully described, it can only be experienced. My hope is that my meager descriptions of the truth I have experienced will be motivation enough for you to travel the way and experience the truth for yourself. Much like walking a path and coming upon a boulder, the boulder isn't owned by anyone. The boulder has been there and will remain there. Even if you decide to change the boulder, it will be a different boulder than the one when you first perceive it. If you leave and the weather erodes the boulder, someone else will see a different boulder. If someone else messes with the boulder or adjusts the boulder in any way or anything else adjusts the boulder, then it's a different boulder. The truth is much like this boulder, or much like a river where the water you see is not the same water that you saw. As the saying goes, no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. That is a quote by Heraclitus. Just as the territory, the reality, the truth changes, so too does the observer change with the changing of the thing being observed. Even with words to try and map out and model what you've seen, you'd fall short. The words themselves are not enough to recreate the entirety of the boulders, the valleys, the lakes, the rivers, and mountains. Think about the tale of the blind men describing an elephant. So there was these 5 blind men, and they went to go see an elephant for the first time. They each only examined different parts of the elephant. One examined the trunk, another the tusk, another the body, another the tail, and a last one, the flapping of the ears. They will all speak their truths and be correct when describing the elephant, even if their truths are conflicting with each other. One blind man that only feels the tusk will argue vehemently that the elephant is hard, while another blind man that feels only the tail will argue that it is soft and thin. These men will argue over their perceived subjective observations of truth. They will argue that their personal truth is the real objective truth, when in reality they're all technically right because the objective truth is beyond what they can actually fully comprehend. The metaphor of blindness is that there is an ignorance among those that recant their own truth and yet refuse to listen to the others. They refuse to entertain a possibility that they're both right or the possibility that they could be wrong. The metaphor of the elephant is that the objective truth is always in the room and is very large and big, almost imperceptibly so, hence relating to a similar saying like the elephant in the room. We would go far to defend our truth. Arguments and miscommunication over truth, if given enough time, will devolve into conflict and action. This results in wars and death and violence. When you disagree so badly that it affects your emotional needs to feel safe or your capacity or ability to survive, then you ask yourself if your life is worth more or less than the need to defend yourself, even if you choose so, to defend yourself preemptively by striking. Thus, miscommunication breeds violence. I'd like to pass on to you a Hawaiian proverb, or Hawaiian. That proverb is, the big kahuna is one that can hold multiple truths at the same time. I will display a picture here that shows the differences that people may see, and it's an allegory, a picture form of the blind men and the elephant. The truth is, you do not own the truth. The truth is merely revealed to you. It's shown in parts and bits. And even then, with that, you don't see the whole thing. You only see different versions that someone else has seen. You may see more than others, and you may see less than others. And yet the truth, can be so much more than what we can even see. there may be even more things. Here's another picture that describes the truth in different lights. There are many truths to a situation, many sides to a story. It is important for us to hear what others are saying so that they may speak their truth, and then we can discern what is true from everyone's stories. Some people lie, and that obscures truth, so you must learn and weed out the false illusions from the truth to ensure that you navigate accurately into the next decisions or actions. Making judgments or decisions based on bad data will lead to unexpected results, which can either be positive or negative depending on whose perspective you're entertaining. The results may likely be outside your intended future, so be aware. So the big kahuna can entertain many truths. They can see and hear and place themselves in the shoes of the storytellers. Doing so helps to understand one another, to see the other sides, to be empathetic, to sort of get it and understand. In another way with words, the map is not the territory. A map that is the same size of the territory is useless. A map that is larger than the territory itself can help pinpoint areas. A map that is smaller than the territory can help navigate and be carried around. But walking on the map is also not the same as traversing the actual territory. Crossing a mountain with dotted lines on a map is not the same as climbing and scaling the actual mountain itself. As such, the description of the truth is not the truth itself. And when we talk about words and their meaning, the word is not the truth. It merely is a sign that points or refers to the truth. The word is much like a description, a map, a model, a sign, a symbology. It symbolizes the thing. The word water is not something you can drink. You can't bathe in the word water, nor can you make tea or use the word as if it was the real thing itself. Thusly, all words have their meaning, which references things or concepts. Those things or concepts are themselves a form of existence. As words are forms, things and concepts are forms too. In a way, all words are synonyms that point to other words. The word water points to the being of water, the existence of water, in which technically both are words, but that's a concept that we'll have to bridge another day. It's sort of a riddle if you think about it. What exactly is a word, and is a word just a symbol or a script? The epilogue. I hope this was an interesting dive into truth. I can go on and on about truth and how our lives are connected in some way to these concepts and vibrational energies. I just wanted to leave you with a big nugget of truth. The ultimate truth denies nothing. And, that's it. So, hopefully you enjoyed this little rant on truth, this little article. And then I'll leave you with my little mantra. Words mean things.